is the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans, with Josh Taylor, Justin Smead, and Jason Eidsmoe. We're talking Padres, Chargers, and Aztec sports.
Gotta hit it to the right place. And he hits it out to center. Right center. Blackman's got a long way to go. He's still going.
Off the wall.
And it is off the wall. It takes a funny hop. Kemp is rounding second. He's heading to third. And Matt Kemp into third base with a triple and the first cycle in the history of the San Diego Padres.
He will hand it off. Tomlinson plows his way towards the goal line. LaDainian Tomlinson, one step closer to football immortality. Tomlinson has tied the single-season record. And the handoff to Tomlinson. Left side, and he will gallop into the end zone. Charger fans are witnesses to history.
Pope thought about it. Now steps up. And the freshman hits the jumper at the buzzer.
Well, this kid is some prospect. Big time length, big time game.
Pope straight away three. Count it. Malik Pope. Pope. Off glass and good. On the other end, Joel doesn't miss that one. Shepard alley-oop to Pope. He got up there. Oh, wow.
It's time to let your voice be heard.
All right, it is Sunday. It's 9 o'clock. For those of you who remember to change your clocks, it is 9 o'clock, and it's time for the San Diego Sports Junkies pregame show, a show for the fans.
By the fans.
There we go. Justin's sleeping on us. How's it going there, David? David Drogemeyer from the San Diego Domination Podcast is here. How you doing, David?
Hey, doing great, man. I mean, what could be better? We got another football game to prep for.
Absolutely. Justin, how we doing, man? You there? Justin, we lost. We're going to bring him back. Mikey, are you there?
I'm here, sir. I'm here.
Mikey, how you doing today? Mikey from Aztecs Hoops Nation. How's it going this morning?
Good, man. Just drinking my big old mug of Ovaltine here. So
yeah.
I'm ready.
Well, you know, we're at the 8-8. You know, the Chargers have reached the 8-game point. We would have loved to have been 8-8 at this time.
8-0.
I mean, I'm sorry, at least 4-4. We would like to be 8-8, but we would like to at least been 4-4 at this time. We are 3-5 right now. We're playing against the Tennessee Titans at 4-4. Couple interesting things, you know, that has happened right now is we lost yet another player. Dexter McCluster got injured. He broke his forearm at home. First of all, we'll start with you, Justin. Did you hear about how it happened, or when did you hear about Dexter McCluster breaking his arm?
I heard about it yesterday, and unfortunately saw it all over Twitter, and I just shaking my head. What happened? You know, maybe it was practice or something. You know, home incident. I'm sure David might know this. I'm assuming he just slipped on a banana peel. you know, because by this point, you know, like what else could happen to the Chargers roster? Like, did he get hit in the head with a seagull? Like, Did something happen where he's walking around and he got drilled? Like, what's going on? And I'm sure David can elaborate more.
Yeah, David, what happened how did he break his arm? Have you heard?
I have heard. Unfortunately, this is about as freak of an injury as it gets. He was moving luggage around his house, and he broke his forearm in the process of doing that.
Oh,
so, yeah, absolutely incredulous. Notice I didn't say incredible. I said incredulous because you can't believe that. That is absolutely ridiculous. But, yeah, that's what happened, and unfortunately another running back gone. So Chargers are hurting in that area.
Yeah, and I was looking forward to, you know, when they lost Danny Woodhead, they signed Dexter McCluster. To me at the time was the best move that they could have made. It's so far been a little bit of a disappointing move, all in all, but I was thinking this is the week. This is the week where something happens. He's playing against his old team, the team that cut him. Now he's gone for the year. Mikey, were you expecting McCluster to have a big game, or were you expecting to see him stand on the sidelines most of today? Anyways, what were you thinking coming up against the Titans?
Well, we kind of brought it up on Wednesday's show, and I know you guys feel he's been underutilized, but I didn't expect much from him. I haven't seen anything to suggest that, and I feel like Melvin Gordon's been able to handle the complete back duties in the games he's been on. So not again. It's a loss, not a big loss considering he wasn't used much, and I didn't see his role expanding anytime soon.
Well, if his role wasn't going to expand like you're alluding to, then it wouldn't have been that big of a loss because they really haven't been using him that much. But I was expecting to get more out of him. Now, so Dexter McCluster went out on injured reserve. Tyreek Burwell, kind of one of the guys, one of the under the radar guys that I've kind of always liked, but he hasn't made that next step yet. They released him. My guess is as long as nobody else grabs him, they'll be bringing him back.
He was your Craig Mager on the offensive side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Chargers brought up Deion King, inside linebacker. I want to say that he used to be on Dallas's practice squad, if I'm correct on that. Isaiah Burse. They kind of played the weekly game with him, whether they sign him, release him, sign him, release him. He's signed again. It's what they do with IR, and we only have an hour today, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But I think the IR rules in football are stupid. I think you should be able to put as many people on the IR that you're going to bring back. I think that holding them just one punishes teams like the Chargers who have a lot of injuries because. We got Jaleel Day, who's been basically wasting a roster spot waiting to get back. It would have been nice to have him on IR to return. With that being said, Jatavis Brown is out. Jatavis, right, David?
That's right.
After he screwed that up for 6 weeks or whatever, Jatavis Brown is out. My boy Craig Mager is out. Hunter Henry is out. I know he was in the concussion protocol, but this is a knee injury. I believe that's keeping him out.
That's correct.
Anything on that, David, on how long we think that he's going to be out?
I think this is just going to be a 1 week type of injury. From what I've been monitoring, everything I've read says he's been, attacking the jugs machine every day. You just couldn't really go, and they really just wanted to be cautious with their young tight end. Antonio Gates seems like he's coming on a little bit better. He's starting to get a little more in rhythm. So it's not. It's a big loss because the kid's super talented, but I think Antonio Gates is going to see a lot more looks today.
I sure hope you're right, and we'll talk about that when we get to the offensive side of the ball. Jaleel Day is doubtful. I'm assuming that he's probably not going to play. Denzel Perryman is doubtful. I'm assuming he's not going to play. Jerry Atauchu still on the team and doubtful. I'm assuming he's not going to play.
He doesn't play anyway, so.
I was actually, the thing about Jerry Atauchu is with his speed, he actually would have been a good guy to maybe, if he was healthy, to maybe have him spy on Marcus Mariota. A little bit unconventional with an outside guy, but I think that might have been a good call. Travis Benjamin and Tyrell Williams, both questionable. Williams is almost a for sure to play, and I'm guessing that
they're both going to
play as well. Injury-wise, somebody tweeted Jake Hefner. I know that he's not with us this morning. When are the Chargers going to stop crying? When are Charger fans going to stop crying about injuries? And the only thing I can really respond to that is, when we stop having so goddamn many injuries. Mikey, do you think that we have enough guys left on this team to string together some victories?
I do. And, I just can't understate how big Joey Bosa has been. I mean, there's just been this guy on the show that's come on once in a while, and for like the last 3 years talked about how we need to get pressure on the quarterbacks to improve the whole defense. And I don't remember
who could that be.
I love to quote him, but he's done that. He's done that single-handedly. I mean, he is again exceeded all expectations, and he's done that exactly. And I think that's been. I mean, I really can't point to anything else, guys, that has made the defense be a better play. I mean, literally, the defense has stepped up since he's been in the lineup, and having that pressure, has caused a ripple effect through the whole defense, and that's made the defense actually viable and not really a liability. So I really believe that this team can win some games here, and the schedule is, like we talked about, is favorable in theory, but you have to go out and get those W's.
You know what? It's amazing because you're right. You have been kind of. A lot of people talk about pressure and stuff, but you're the one who every time we draft or sign anybody, you're the guy who kind of throws a big fit about the fact that they're not addressing the defensive line. And ever since Bosa has, as much as some of us were angry with him, and I was one of the guys that was a little bit angry with him, ever since he's been on the team, David was on board. Ever since that he's been playing, we haven't won every single game, but our defense has looked like has looked like the strength of this team. Is that continuing on, Justin? Do you think the defense is going to be the strength of this team moving forward for the second half of the year?
Yeah, I mean, all we can do is pray and hope none of our front line, get dinged up, because they're playing outstanding. If we can generate pressure, I don't care who's at middle linebacker, and I don't mean to say that with any disrespect to the Brown and Perriman, but I think any linebacker can make a play with the pressure they're getting. They're pushing that pocket back. We see it every week. Mebane's an absolute
monster.
Yes.
To finish that statement, definitely Mebane is an absolute monster. Go ahead, Justin.
Yes. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, and you're right. And I think just Legion on that other side, he's just been so he just hasn't got the praise, but
solid.
He's making an impact. Yeah, he's been solid, and he's been making an impact as well. Just he's not making the big play. So it's just a really stout line, and with Bosa, he just is so good, and he causes so many problems. And like I said, if it doesn't really matter who's at linebacker, it does, but it doesn't, because if you're generating that kind of pass rush and pressure on the QB, guys can make plays out there.
Well, since the beginning of the season, we've lost some cornerbacks. We changed safeties. Our middle linebackers have all been injured. And maybe it's we talk about Jatavis Brown and how much better he's played than Teo, but maybe part of the reason why we're seeing so much more out of him is because the pressure that the defense is getting on, and all that back end stuff keeps changing. But the one constant we have is our front line and our ends. Our outside linebackers are getting tons of pressure. Hal has joined us in the chat room, so we can look forward to hearing about how Philip Rivers is going to cost us the victory today.
That's Macy Juski's site.
By the way, did you guys realize how crazy you sound, Jason? I mean, you're praising the defensive line.
You're right.
I've heard that in years. It's crazy.
You're right. It is.
Yeah. Let's not forget about Melvin Ingram either, gentlemen. Melvin Ingram has been all over the field in coverage, which, I mean, honestly, earlier in the season, I didn't want to see a lot of that, but he's shown that he's been pretty decent in coverage, and he's also benefited from Joey Bosa getting more pressure on the quarterback. Those two complement each other, and when those two are on their game, everyone else is on their game as well.
You sure this isn't a replay show from like 2007?
Good call.
With all that defensive line talk, let's go.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, talk about what the Chargers need to do on the offensive side of the ball to win the game, and then we'll get to that vaunted defense. Be right back, guys.
With the Supercharger drive. Woo! San Diego Superchargers. San Diego Chargers. San Diego Superchargers.
Calling all podcasters. Have you ever wanted your voice to be heard? Do you need help expanding your audience? Are you curious just how far your show could reach? Well, look no further. We are New Media Radio Network, the premier podcast streaming network. Let us take your show to the next level. For more information, check out our website, www.newmediaradio.net.
Cali Comfort Barbecue in Spring Valley was built for West Coast Sunday morning football and fight night. Cali Comfort Barbecue has quickly become San Diego's slow smoke barbecue sports entertainment destination. Full service catering available for all your tailgating needs. CaliComfortSD.com.
All right, we are back playing our favorite song from the Chargers. We're ready to talk about the Chargers when they have the ball on the offensive side. Offense has kind of been the Achilles heel of this team the last few weeks, maybe this whole season. And it's such a bummer because it seems like when the offense starts playing good, the defense starts to suck. When the defense starts to play good, the offense starts to suck. But I've come up with a few keys, but before we do that, I'm going to give everybody a chance to give a general overall talk about the Chargers, what they need to do offensively. Go ahead and start us off, Justin.
Well, for today's key, and I say this, I hammer it home every week. The line has to get off to a good start and push them around and get Melvin Gordon going, because this run game with guys that are hurt, wide receiver wise, we're struggling there, and I know they will have Benjamin and Tyrell most likely, so that's a plus. But you got to get the running game going every week. We have to start these games being the bully, and the way Matt Slauson was talking last week, and the way these guys are fired up, I expect them to come out and run the football religiously. I really do. I think you got to get Melvin Gordon. I want to say you got to give him 25 to 30 carries today, and if you do that and they actually give him 25 to 30 carries, I don't see how we lose this game, because that's going to open up the pass. So you have to get the run game going. Mikey, overall, offensively, what do the Chargers need to do?
What Justin just said. Make the running game the focal point of this offense. You have to start with the running game, and you have to be hard-nosed. You have to see the NFL. I know it's very popular to throw the ball and air it out all day. Aaron Rodgers gets all that glory there, but if you want to win games and you want to be a good team, you have to run this ball. I can't state. I think the balance that's created by giving Melvin Gordon the ball, even if he gets stuffed on first down for 1 yard or loses a yard, don't give up. Don't start throwing it 2 more times. You got to get those 3rd and shorts. You can't run the ball once and then throw an incomplete pass and then say you're at 3rd and 11 and expect to get these. You have to try. You have to push it, and you have to just move it on these defenses because you can run this ball. And I think today is an opportunity where it may be difficult to run it, or it could be very successful. I mean, you just can't. You won't know until you try, and I don't want to see the coaching staff get away from that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a few 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 runs, to kind of surprise the other team. David, overall, offensively, what do we need to do today?
Well, obviously, the other two guys hit the nail on the head as far as running the football is concerned. I mean, and Melvin Gordon's coming off 100 yards rushing. That needs to continue. The Tennessee Titans are very vulnerable to the tight end play. Their defense has been torched by them. I feel like Antonio Gates needs to be featured in this game, as well as Melvin Gordon. But also 2 things. Stop the mistakes and stop turning the fucking ball over.
Yes.
Please stop turning the ball over.
Absolutely.
I mean, if they did not turn the ball over against Denver, who scored 14 punts off of turnovers, we would have won that game. So we cannot give the Tennessee Titans more opportunities on the offensive side of the ball. So clean up the mistakes and stop their turnovers. Run the ball and keep the ball. That's how you win.
I love it. And, before we do the show, I kind of outlined different keys that I want to hit. And the very first key that I put on the Chargers on the offensive side of the ball is stop fucking over our defense. And it goes with the turnovers. Our defense plays well. Our defense has been stepping up and making plays after our offense turns the ball over. But our defense is really good at taking advantage when the other team has to go from one end of the field to the other. Stop giving them a short field. Stop giving them points. Our offense just needs to stop screwing the defense, and that means, like I keep kind of preaching, everybody, it's a Madden, it's like a Madden type fan base now. Everybody wants you to throw the deep ball. Everybody wants you to fake punt. Everybody wants you to do all this crazy stuff. I think it's time for us to settle down a little bit, get a little bit more. Everybody hates this word when you talk about football, but get a little bit more conservative and run the ball a little bit more, but stop screwing over our defense. Justin, you agree?
Agreed. You got to take care of the football. We talk about this weekly. This team has the most turnovers in football. You can't expect to win games when you give them extra chances, and we all know that. We're all football fans. We knew that coming out of the womb. I mean, you watch football. If you lose the turnover battle, you're going to probably lose the game, most likely. It blows my mind that this team does this to themselves every flippin' week. It gets flippin' old, and to add to David's frustration, I'm there with him. I wish I could have a pregame speech with these idiots. I like, what are you people doing? What are you thinking? Like, hold on to the fucking ball, And when Phillip Rivers throws I don't care if the ball's thrown a little high. Catch the damn ball. Don't tip it in the air for the defense. It's stupid.
Go up and get it.
Yeah.
Catch the damn ball, dude. Like that. that irritates the hell out of me. That's not Phillips' fault. He put it right on the money. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Make the play.
That's one thing that we miss. We loved him. I understand it was time for him to retire, and we all get that. But that's what Malcolm Floyd did. When he threw the ball, Malcolm Floyd got the ball. Do you ever? I'm not saying he never did, but boy, I can't remember him ever taking that ball and tipping it up for anybody else. He went up there and he got the ball. Now, when he got the ball, he got hit by 4 people and broke a bone usually, and we lost him for half the year. But at least he caught the ball. Mikey, is one of the keys to this offense to stop screwing over our defense?
No, Jason. We want to screw them over as much as possible. Of course, man. Of course. Like the most easiest question, man. Of course. The biggest thing is not even just it's giving them time to rest, man. Because really, we're so thin. We're so thin at really good players that we need those guys to be out there. We don't have the depth. I mean, I don't want to see Brendan Flowers looking out there tired. I'm not saying that he is, but I'm just saying I don't want to see Hayward sucking wind because he just got off the field 4 plays ago.
Right.
Like you just and that's where the run game comes in. And I like how David mentioned the tight ends. Again, you don't have to get these huge plays. Tight ends can just move the chains for you, sustain drives. I mean, this is really. It's this philosophy that we just need to keep the ball and keep possession. And I feel like that's in the last couple of years we've looked our best when we control time of possession, and because we have a better team, we have a more complete team, especially with all the injuries that we have faced the last couple of years. It's so important.
I completely agree, and that's one of the things we hadn't talked about yet was the fact that our defense is on the field constantly all the time, and they are getting tired because they're thin. We got like the 7th-string guys out there, and they're playing good still, but, man, you need to get to the sideline, you need to suck a little bit of air, you need to drink a little bit of Gatorade, and you need to have a little bit of time to rest. Next point that I wanted to make is our tackles. Our offensive tackles need to step up a little bit. So far this year, they've been we talked about it a little bit on Wednesday, but Barksdale, everybody knows kind of how Barksdale has been this season, how much he's struggled. Jake brought up the point that he's been very, very disappointed with the way King Dunlap has played. And, when you think about it before the season started, our top 5 receivers were most likely going to be Keenan Allen, Danny Woodhead, Stevie Johnson, Travis Benjamin, and Tyrell Williams. Of those 5 guys, 3 of them on IR, and 2 of them are, most likely going to play, but certainly battling knee injuries. These guys need to step up and give Rivers a little bit more time to throw the ball because the wide receivers out there are not as good as when we started the season and not as healthy as when we started the season. David, you were shaking your head a little bit. You're happy with what you've seen from King Dunlap this year?
I think, first of all, gentlemen, you got to remember, when was the last time you remember King Dunlap playing consecutive games in a row?
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Just saying. Last year, who the hell was King Dunlap?
So you're just happy he's out there. Though.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Him being on the field is an upgrade over any of the backups that play left tackle. No, I'm sorry. That's a 100% fact.
I'm not hollering for any of the backups to come on the field. I'm just
Barksdale,
the starters to play better.
Barksdale needs to have a clean game today. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This Tennessee Titans defense does not scare me in the slightest, so he should have no problems keeping Phillip Rivers upright and opening up some holes. But my thing is, I need some better play out of my guards. DJ Fluker and Orlando Franklin need to step their damn game up, especially Franklin. That guy is getting paid way too much money for the type of production that he is putting up, and it's not very good. He needs to step his damn game up.
Yeah, and I think that goes overall with what you're saying. The whole offensive line as a unit needs to play better. And as far as Barksdale goes, I'm not going to make excuses for him, and he's played pretty poorly. But we have been playing pretty good pass rushes. Let's keep that in mind.
That's true.
Yes.
True. The Falcons pass rush is pretty damn good. The Broncos pass rush is one of the best in football.
Yeah.
We can't discount that either. Doesn't mean he can't play better, and he should play better. He looks lost at times, and crucial mistakes with false starts, blowing off the line, lining up on the wrong spot. It's just little things like that. You have to eliminate those guys, and we know that. We know that as fans. But yes, this line overall, I think that's what our main focus was on this question. Overall, this as a tandem, yes, Fluker needs to play better, and Orlando Franklin for sure.
Step your game up.
Step your game up. Get nasty today, like we're alluding to. Get that run game going. Then you can protect Phillip a little better, and it'll be a little easier on yourself. So if you play well early on, that'll eliminate that pass rush because they're going to have to worry about a threat of the pass. So
bring out your inner Slauson, baby.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's see that today.
Yes,
I agree.
All in all, from last year to this year, the O-line has improved immensely, but there's so much more room for improvement. Mikey, do you agree the O-line needs to step up and improve their game a little bit today? Or do we have what we're going to get out of them already?
Well, I'm actually trying. I was looking up while you guys were talking, offensive line, and I couldn't find anything. But I think the biggest thing is they need to just get better overall. And I can't say that I'm happy. I mean, we saw last week's game, and yes, that's the Denver Broncos, but we also rushed for over 100 yards, and Melvin Gordon has best game offensively. So there's an inconsistency there in pass protection, and if we can't address that, then obviously this offense is going to stall. And against a team like the Cowboys, the Titans. which can be opportunistic. You need to be on them because this is a defense that, even though they are, I guess, susceptible in certain ways, overall they're solid and
yeah, they're not bad and statistically, and
they're a top 10 defense statistically. Sure. So this is not going to be easy, and I don't know. I mean, there's so much. It's so hard, offensive linemen. It's so hard because the rule. If you don't hear their name, they're doing a great job. But we keep hearing Barksdale's name a lot.
Yeah, but look at this. And I like what you're saying, Mikey, and I think you guys can agree with this too. We say this every week, and I know David's kind of shaking his head. Like I know I'm not worried about the Titans defense, but we played the Saints, and we're supposed to kill them, and we didn't do our job.
That's
right.
True.
So we have to, as Charger fans, unfortunately, we have to worry about crap teams like this. We have to worry about the Cleveland Browns coming up in a few weeks. I mean, you have to worry about those things because we haven't played up to expectations this year, right? Am I wrong?
No.
So as Charger fans, we should go out there and beat them, but will we? Will we play a solid game enough to do it? That's my only concern.
My last point I wanted to make is with the injuries we've had, with the guys that are going out today on the offensive side of the ball, somebody new needs to step up. And I'm talking about Derek Watt. I'm talking about Griff Whalen. I'm talking about Kenneth Farrow. I'm talking about Jeremy Butler. I'm talking about Asante Cleveland. One of those guys needs to step up and make a play. I know that they're fringe guys. I know that they're back of the roster guys, but they're in the NFL for a reason. We need to see one of those guys make a big third down catch, make a big play. Something needs to happen with one of those guys we can't always rely on the same 3 or 4 guys. I think one of those guys needs to step up. You agree, Justin?
Yeah, and I'm still a big advocate of Griff Whalen. I know he's effed up a lot this year. I really know that, and I don't know why I have his back still.
I know, me too. I'm
trying to just ride this train because I like Griff Whalen. I think he can produce a little bit for us out of that slot location in the offense. That's a smidge, I know, but I think he can be a factor. He's got that elusiveness and the speed to get some crucial first downs. I think so, and that's just my opinion. But I like the kid. I just got to give him more reps, more chances, more opportunities. I know he's effed up. It's been bad, but he's got to show me something. He's really got to step up his game. Just like you said, some of these guys need to pick up the game, and it's the NFL, guys. I mean, these guys are on this roster for a reason. So
May I just add really quick?
Yep.
I was looking through the offensive line rankings, and I came across last year's, and you know who was the top offensive lineman last year?
Joe Barksdale.
Barksdale. Yeah,
He's the only one who played in all the games, though.
But I mean, he's come from there to being the worst, and that's disappointing.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And the last point that I'm going to make, but I'm just going to kind of make this while we're going off into break, and that's They need to find Antonio Gates. I know David had mentioned that when he was talking, but
all day
it's time for Antonio Gates to step up and get my fantasy, which fantasy football sucks, but get my fantasy team some points.
Such a loser.
Yeah, right. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna listen to some POD, and we're gonna come back on the other side and talk about the strength of this team, and that's the defense.
The name, it's the San Diego Chargers. Feel the lightning bang, kill the hype we ring. SB running this game. This is 619 straight, born and raised. This ain't no fad or phase. This is Cali for life. We gon' rally tonight. So pump your fist till you get it right, and keep it real so all the day go can feel you bumping out.
Maybe you need business cards to help your business stand out. We at San Diego Sports Junkies got you covered. SK Digital Imaging can do it all. Give our buddy Sean K a call, 858-408-0732. SK Digital Imaging, from business cards to the bigger projects. SK Digital Imaging and our buddy Sean K will get your printing done right.
Come on! Come on! Where you at? Come on! Where you at? Stay true to your hood.
You know, I like the San Diego Superchargers song a lot, but this is the perfect song to get you pumped up. You know, when you're at the game and they're playing this game, this on that crappy Qualcomm sound system. It's a really cool song to hear, man. When you go to the
That's
game.
my show introduction song,
That's right.
baby.
That's how that's how the San Diego Domination podcast show opens up too, with that song. Great song. Moving on to something that we didn't think we would be able to say, and that's the strength of this Chargers team, and that's on the defensive side of the ball. And I'm gonna tell you, boys, I'm a little bit worried. I'm worried because Murray and Henry are, especially Henry. Boy, if anybody remembers, I know it was only preseason, but boy, did we look bad when he was on the field, and I just worry. I know that, you know. We talked earlier about how our rushing defense was actually ranked pretty high, and I thought that was kind of a paper ranking. I'm changing that a little bit because they have looked really solid. You were right, David, because you're the one who was kind of, and I kept saying no, you know, but they have looked really, really strong. Not perfect, but really, really strong. I hope that doesn't end. And my first key for today's game on the defensive side, they need to limit Murray and Henry on first down. I don't want to see them rushing for 5, 6, 7 yards on first down. We need to get them blocked. We need to get them dropped at the line. We need to force Marcus Mariota to throw the ball. Are we going to stop them to under 100 yards? Probably not. I don't think. Justin, do you think that's first of all, do you think that it's even feasible to keep them under 100 yards, or
well, I mean,
we just got to pick our battles?
I think all indications, you know, DeMarco Murray's banged up too. We got to remember that. He's not full. I don't know if he's a full go. I don't even know. I think Derrick Henry is going to get the bulk of the carries today, just because Murray's kind of shouldering an injury there.
That actually scares me a little bit more, actually, to be honest with you.
Well, hey, you know, this is what it is, and to take anything from the preseason, you got to throw that out the window. I know what we saw, it was pretty awful. We didn't have nearly.
Means nothing.
It doesn't, but I get what you're saying. Last impressions, it was a bad impression. It leaves a bad taste.
Bad impression.
Sure. No, I totally understand that point. Now, can we keep them under 100? Of course we can. It's not going to be easy by any means. They're a good running football team. That's what they like to do, right? So they like to do those little bootleg passes. They're good in the run game. It's going to be a challenge for sure. But I think it's feasible. This front line, you know, being dinged up as much as we are, it's going to be tough. But it's definitely feasible.
David, can we keep these guys under 100 yards?
No, I don't see it. I'm sorry, I just don't see it happening. We got some backup linebackers in there playing. We're going to have Kyle Emanuel, who is playing outside linebacker. They're going to move him to inside linebacker today. He's going to be one of the starting inside linebackers, probably next to Corey Toomer. There's just if they get past the defensive line, you know, there's a lot of unproven players that are going to have to make some plays after that. So, do I think they're going to keep them under 100? No. 150? Yeah, I could see that. I can definitely see that. The key to this game is to absolutely stop the run and force Marcus Mariota to beat you. Once again, kind of similar to last week. But that's going to be a focal point of this Tennessee Titans offense against us. Is they're going to run the ball, and then they're going to run the ball some more. So if we can stop them and force them to throw the ball, maybe we can get some pressure in his face and force him to make some mistakes.
Mikey, we've been talking a lot about the Chargers' defensive line. Defensive line is going to have to step up. Do you think that we can have success against the running game of the Tennessee Titans?
It's going to be tough. I mean, they average 152 yards a game. They're third in the NFL in rushing. So it's going to be a tough one. I mean, the Chargers defensively, like you said, on paper, they're better against the run. I think that's because people would just rather pass on them. It's easier. But it's going to be tough, and it's going to be very important. I mean, if they can't do it, if they cannot stop this run, then this game is over, because the Tennessee Titans are the bottom third of the league in passing. So you need to force the ball into Marcus Mariota's hands and make him make the decisions and make him make the mistakes. Because if you don't, again, they're going to just keep moving the clock, winding down. What we talked about, what the Chargers need to do, the Titans can do to us, which is control the game, control the tempo, keep their defense fresh, move the clock, move the chains, and that's going to be bad news to the Chargers.
I agree. I agree, and I am worried about that. And one of the last points I wanted to make, but Justin kind of alluded to it, so I'm going to step up here and move this one up, and that's on third down, they need to limit Delanie Walker. And I'm talking about those bootlegs. I'm talking about those play-action bootlegs where you run across and you have the tight end who, for some reason, one of the weaknesses of this Chargers defense is covering tight ends. You have the tight end open for
another guy
yards.
That's banged up today, by the way.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He might not be a full go either. So these are guys, man. I mean, these are some of their key cogs in that offense, and I think we might be catching a little bit of a break. But hey, it's going to be tough either way to stop them under 100. But I think it can be done. I really think our defensive line is stout enough to do it.
Yeah, we might be catching a little bit of a break, but they're catching a large break when you look at our side of the ball, injury-wise. Delanie Walker, are you worried about him on third down, David?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to be worried about him. He's a weapon. He's one of the few weapons that they have in the passing game. So, honestly, do you even know who the receivers are? I mean, I do, obviously, because I studied them. But if you're a casual NFL fan, you're not going to know who plays wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans.
Tajay Sharp.
Right.
Exactly. Who the hell is that?
Right,
Rashard Matthews is good. Harry Douglas came over from Atlanta. He's a journeyman.
They're okay. They're okay, though. But if you're an NFL fan, you're not going to know them.
Right. I agree, and I think we have the advantage when it comes to the wide receivers. I just worry about I worry about the tight end. I worry about the running backs coming out of the backfield like I do every week. I talk about that every single week because that is really one of the weak points of our defense is stopping.
Yeah, that's going to be their attack on the offensive side is the running backs and the tight end. That is who we need to key on.
Mikey, I got an idea for us defensively with all the middle linebacker injuries we've had today, and worrying about having some guys start that aren't used to starting, moving Kyle Emanuel over to middle linebacker. I think the Chargers need to have a heavy dose of double A gap blitzes today. I think that asking these guys to blitz kind of limits the decision-making process that they have to make. And also, I feel will help in the run game if our defensive line can step up. And that's when you have these guys having to make less choices, they're just going and doing something. I think that we have much more chance for success. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think getting aggressive with these middle linebackers is the way to go, or do you think that they should be dropping back, trying to read and react?
I think that's a great idea, Jason. Actually, I didn't think about that till you mentioned it. I was just thinking about how I picture the Titans' game plan going, which is going to be run the ball, dink and dunk, and then hit you with this long play that's going to burn you for a touchdown. So I think going that way is going to be great. And I see David shaking his head, but David, I mean, that Mariota has shown he can throw the deep ball. What they're going to do is they're going to lull you and keep thinking they're going to dink and dunk the whole game and pass to the tight ends, pass to the running backs at the backfield, and then every once in a while he'll take a shot. And
also is throwing 7 interceptions though, so he's probably going to be a little hesitant to do that every once in a while. I mean, once in a blue moon, sure, but I just don't see that being a focal point in the game plan.
Oh, definitely not. Again, but I mean, isn't that what we would do? Is like just keep throwing it short and open up the big play. which is the thing to be worried for. That's what I'm saying. He's not going to do it a lot. I mean, I'm saying, but I could see them doing that. But I think hitting the blitz there and creating that pressure, and like you said, hoping that you can stop the run that way as well would be a great start, Jason. I think it's a great idea. And I don't know if we'll see it, but why not give it a try?
What are your thoughts on that theory, David? Double A-gap blitzes constantly today.
I love it. I mean, send Joey Bosa, send Melvin Ingram. I mean, terrorize Mariota. I mean, make him get out of the. I mean, honestly, I don't want you to make him get out of the pocket. I want you to keep him in the pocket.
Yeah.
Mariota in the pocket because that guy can run. Contain him. Keep somebody back to spy him. But yeah, get pressure in his face. I mean, however you can do it. Move Bosa around. I mean, get creative. But yeah, absolutely utilize the A-Cat blitz. I'm right on. I'm completely on board with that.
Hey, Justin, he just mentioned something about, and I had it written down here to spy on Mariota. Now, with the usually you pick a middle linebacker for that. If they did, that would probably be Corey Toomer. Maybe I was. I had talked about earlier about having. I'm just trying. I just lost it. Jerry Tauchu possibly do it. Of course, he's injured. Kyle Emanuel seems actually like the best choice to be the spy today. If they decide to do that, are you a fan of that, or do you think that you're wasting a defender when you spy on the quarterback?
Well, you got to be somewhat conscientious of his running ability, right? I mean, we all know that he runs, so we have to. Oh, see you, Mikey. Have a good rest of your day. Go Bolts.
Thank you guys too, man. See you.
Thanks, Mikey.
And you have to be worried about that in some capacity, right? I mean, that's what we look at when we break down the other team. What do they do well, right? So, but I think we can totally get after this kid and make him move out of the pocket because he's not the greatest running, throwing quarterback, but he can make some plays if you allow him to. If we can contain like we're talking about, that's huge for us today. I mean, it will be, and we know that. We know what problems he presents as a quarterback. So if they just are disciplined in their gap assignments and they stay home, and then I think what you're getting at too is I'd love to see a little more Dexter McCoy in the box. I know he's not as fast as maybe a Jerry Tauchu would be, but he could spy too.
It's not a bad call.
And I think he can really help there, but I don't think you do it every play. I think like we force
definitely not.
We make him try to throw that football because he's not a particularly great passer yet in this league. So we need him to do that more.
I agree, and I like the call with bringing up McCoy. I didn't even think about bringing in an extra safety, kind of like what they would do.
Because he's kind of a rover anyway, right? Yeah. I mean, he's a hybrid type of player. Right. Sure. Yeah. So I mean, he's sideline to sideline. He can make some plays.
He can make some tackles, and he's not the strongest guy in coverage, but that's not what you're looking for that.
No, exactly.
Hal in the chat room brought up a good point. I wanted to ask you, David. He says, "Did you guys notice the Titans are better 1 year removed from Ken Whisenhunt?" I personally think that part of that is the fact that Mariota is 1 year better. I don't think he's better because Whisenhunt left. I think he's better because he's been in the league a little bit longer. Do you think that they got better because Whisenhunt left?
Definitely not. I don't think it had anything to do with Whisenhunt. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it's just him getting another year of experience. I mean, he was a rookie last year. I mean, you see the jump from year 1 to year 2 with Melvin Gordon. I mean, it's the same thing with Mariota. I mean, I don't really necessarily think it had anything to do with Ken Whisenhunt because when you look at Ken Whisenhunt and you look at Frank Reich, who made this team better?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Ken Whisenhunt all day and twice on Sunday. Obviously, he made a dumbass decision not running the ball with a 100-yard rusher inside the 2-yard line. But hey, we're all human. We all make mistakes. Guaranteed, if he's in that situation again, he's going to give Melvin Gordon the damn ball.
Yeah, I agree. And we talked about it before. I hate double second-guessing play calls because they always suck when they don't work, and they're always great when they do work. But, boy, it's really hard not to – it's really hard to not second-guess 4 straight passes from inside the 5. That's going to wrap up the defensive side of the ball. This show is moving along fast, boys. We're gonna take.
That means football's around the corner.
That's right. We're gonna take a quick break. One last break. We're gonna come back on the other side. We're gonna give our predictions.
Hey, defender, real quick, just real quick. when defenders, when you guys get an opportunity to catch an interception, please make the play.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 interceptions last week drove me crazy. When the ball is in your hands, make the damn catch. That's
it's
it.
just like the tip balls. You got to catch the football.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Stop.
I love that, and I was so pissed off when I was watching it. As great as our defense played, and I think our defense is the reason why that game was even as close as it was. They left so many points and so many turnovers on the field. It was unbelievable. It was like they all said, "What would Jammer do?" And then they dropped the ball. I love. There's no bigger fan of Quentin Jammer than me. I thought he was a great cornerback, but he would even admit he can't catch the ball. He just cannot catch it. And we all looked like that last week, and that needs to change. I agree. We're going to come back. We're going to make our predictions. We're going to pick our player of the game. We're going to each make a bold prediction. We'll be back on the other side.
So we've been together. We gon' hang us another banner. We are the champions, friend. San Diego Superchargers. We are the champions, my friend.
Cali Comfort Barbecue in Spring Valley was built for West Coast Sunday morning football and fight night. Cali Comfort Barbecue has quickly become San Diego's slow smoke barbecue sports entertainment destination. Full service catering available for all your tailgating needs. CaliComfortSD.com.
All right, so it is time. It is time for Jake Hefner's favorite portion of the show. I know he's not with us today, but I still like to mention that, and that's prediction time. Predictions. We've tried all sorts of different things. We've tried predicting the Chargers to lose. We've tried predicting who's going to get injured. I think that we bring it back to our original roots. We just we predict what we actually truly think is going to happen. Anybody in the chat room, if you want to make your predictions, I know Hal's in there. So you can predict 7 interceptions for Rivers if you want. I'm going to go ahead and lead us off here. I don't think that the Titans are an easy game. I don't think that we can just show up and walk all over them. I don't think that as much as we haven't heard of a lot of guys on their offense except their main guys or their defense. I think that they're better than that. One thing that worries me I didn't talk about on the defense is Brian Arakpo. He is not Von Miller. He is good, but let's make sure our tackles don't make him look like Von Miller today. That is a little bit of a concern for me. Brian Arakpo and Daquan Jones on the other side, let's make sure that we don't make them look like Pro Bowlers today. With all of that being said, I don't know. I'm optimistic today, boys. I think the Chargers are going to win. I think they're going to win big. I think it's going to be 31-13. I got my player of the game with a sore knee. I got Tyrell Williams, 8 catches, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And here's my bold prediction. I've been trying so hard to like this guy so far this year. I've been trying to tell everybody that he's going to finally come around, and this is the week where it happens. I say Dwight Lowry is responsible for 2 turnovers today. Whether he intercepts it, causes a fumble, or recovers a fumble, he will be responsible for 2 turnovers. Wow. And Justin, the very second that second turnover happens, you need to tweet me and say you were right, my friend.
Get on your knees.
Yes.
Praise your master.
I did call Craig Mager's first interception. If you remember in that pregame show, I said he will get his first interception today, and he did get it. I don't care if it was a tipped ball. He did get it. Justin, what do you got for your predictions today?
Well, you're very optimistic, way more than I'm ever going to be for this team right now at this point in time with all the injuries. That being said, I'm going to go Titans 28-24. They beat us, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm putting my realistic glasses on, and I just, what have I always been, Jason? Prove it to me.
Yep.
Show me that you're going to do these things and you're going to beat the teams you should beat. I haven't seen anything that's going to tell me they're going to. I know that they can play good football at times, but can you play a full 4 quarters? Can you not make these stupid mistakes? We always play down to where, Saints game. These things, this stuff happens until they prove it to me, and I've always been the same way.
Yep.
Prove to me you can beat teams like this on your field, You should beat this team. So, but that being said, too, player of the game for me, I think Joey Bosa has another 2 sacks today. I think the scrambling, you're going to see Bosa chasing Mariota all over this field, ragdolling him at times, which is going to be fun to watch. I think he has a forced fumble and 2 sacks. So I'm looking for a big game from him. But yeah, 28-24, I'm going to go with the Titans, and Chargers need to prove it to me as a Charger fan.
You know, you are right. You everything you said there is actually true. They do seem to play down to their competition. They do seem to come out flat in games that they should win. Everything that you said is right, except I think that you're wrong today.
That's fine. That's why this is a great show.
Exactly. Hal, by the way, who would have thought that in the pregame show, Justin would have predicted the Chargers to lose, and Hal would have predicted the Chargers to win.
Wow!
Never would have thought. He's got the Chargers winning by 3 today in the chat room, being led by Kellen Clements. I think. No, he did not say that, but I think he would like to see that. Go ahead, David. What do you got?
This is a team in the Tennessee Titans that the Chargers they should beat. When I look at the schedule, we're 3-5. That's obvious. That's indisputable. But when I look at these two teams, I see the Titans as an opponent the Chargers should beat. So I expect them to do so today. They're in their powder blues today, boys.
That's right.
This is alumni weekend, so they need to go out there and put on a good show for the Chargers of old and show that those powder blue jerseys that they're going to wear, they're going to play with honor and show respect to those guys that wore those jerseys before them. I see the Chargers coming out here winning 31-21. Melvin Gordon goes off for 150 yards rushing today.
Wow,
I think I agree with you on that. I think Melvin has a big day too. I think Joey Bosa is going to go off today. I think
one thing to remember about Melvin Gordon. There was a piece on Bleacher Report. I believe it was written by Jason Cole. Yeah, absolutely fantastic, phenomenal read. Melvin Gordon's dad will get out of prison next month on the 17th. I think he's super motivated about that. And I just think we saw 100 yards last week. I think Melvin Gordon's going to continue to get stronger.
I agree, and the powder blues are interesting. The alumni game, I was listening on the radio this week, and I think we've lost 7 in a row. If that's not.
Seriously,
and
we have.
Yeah, and they were talking about Hardwick and Judson Richards were talking about all the funky things that have happened in these games, and he was reading off. We lost this game, and this happened in that game. We lost this game.
Well, remember the Steeler game last year?
Yeah.
At the buzzer,
yep.
They get. I mean, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
I refuse to think about that. I'm staying in the moment, staying into today, and I feel like today the Chargers are going to win.
You guys, I know you guys have made pretty good predictions, but anybody have anything bold, like Dwight Lowery getting 2 turnovers? Anything bold from
bold? Okay. Yeah, you want something bold? I got something bold for you.
Mix it up, David.
Brandon Meebane's going to have an interception.
Ooh.
And a sack of Mariota today.
Nice.
Both in the same game.
Nice. Picking off that screen pass. I like it, or off a deflection. I love it. Anything from you, Justin? You got anything bold for me?
Yeah, I do. I think Drew Kazer's going to pin the Titans deep a couple times and really sway this game, hopefully in the favor of the Chargers. But I think he's going to have a big game. Hopefully we don't see him too much. But I think the times he's going to be called upon, he's going to make an impact in this game. So that's not really that bold, but I think it's an additive to for a Chargers victory. I predict him to lose, but hopefully I'm wrong. Obviously, I need to see it from them first.
Oh yeah, I understand, and I like the fact that you're saying that.
Yeah,
they need it. That vote takes place. That vote takes place on Wednesday.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
sure.
And you're right. You're right. Justin, you're absolutely right. They do have to prove it to us. I mean, the season's been too up and down.
Exactly.
They haven't. Yeah, they have not been consistent. Today, they need to show up and be consistent in all 3 phases. I hate to go on you guys, but
I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade. I want the Chargers to win as much as you guys. But you got to be realistic sometimes and go with your gut. And the Titans are a good team. This isn't a layover game, pushover game at all. So they got to come out and play today.
Yeah, I agree. And my last word on this is it is Alumni Week. It is the Powder Blues. Stop fucking over your defense, guys. Stop fucking over the defense. Let's go out there. Let's play a solid game. Let's play mistake-free football. If we play a solid game and we play mistake-free, we win this game 31-13. And my prediction doesn't look so crazy. David, any last words from you?
Yes, absolutely. Hey, gentlemen. Hey, people of San Diego. The vote takes place this week for our new state-of-the-art facility. This is not just a stadium, folks. This is a world-class facility that is going to bring the biggest events to America's finest city. I want the Chargers to win this game, go in 4-5, get a good frame of mind in people's heads, get them feeling good about the Chargers winning a game, and take that momentum through Measure C, and let's get a new stadium for our boys and keep them exactly where they belong. Go out there, be physical, go beat the fuck out of the Titans, and get it done.
Justin, anything last from you?
Nope. Go Bolts.
Go Bolts, baby. That's thanks a lot for joining us. You can find David Drogemeyer on the San Diego Domination Sportscast. You can find Justin and I here, like always. We'll be back on Wednesday night. Next Sunday, unfortunately, Justin and I both have work things we have to do. We will both not be here, so we won't be doing a pregame show next Sunday, but we'll see you next Wednesday. And then the following Wednesday will be our 200th show.
200.
So that'll be really,
congratulations,
really cool.
guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
so that'll be a week from
Yeah.
Wednesday. We look forward to seeing you guys Wednesday. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining us. Go Bolts, baby.
Go Bolts.
Go Bolts! Let's go!
Thank you for listening to the San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans. Brought to you by Cali Comfort, home of the low and slow barbecue, and SK Digital Imaging with Josh Taylor, Justin Smead, Jason Eidsmoe, and Mike Maciejewski. Subscribe to us on iHeartRadio, on Spreaker, and on iTunes. Visit SanDiegoSportsJunkies.com for all your Chargers, Padres, and Aztecs news.